Hey guys, this Tree here. This is Blasphemous 2. Now, if you've seen, I made a poll the other day saying that I was getting this game and wondering if you guys wanted to see it. And at the time of this recording, majority of the people said yes. They actually want to see both. So I was starting to play the first one, but I figured, for one, I've just had a lot of stuff going on. I haven't really had time to make a video, and since this just came out, more people would be interested in this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. I will be speaking throughout the video, however, I will not be speaking through everything. I will be quiet during cutscenes and dialogue and whatnot, so you guys can enjoy that. But during gameplay, I'll be giving my thoughts on how I feel about the combat and everything as we go on. This is completely blind. I have not touched the minute of this game yet. Anyways, enough of the intro. Let's go ahead and get started.
The eternal dawn of our penances heralds its imminent end. Each was born to put an end to the other. Now both await, but while yours slumbers, mine remains vigilant. May the miracle bear witness to this oath. By which I remain here for our long-awaited meeting. Wounded by the silence of this secluded existence.
And then, as the city of the blessed name rose up, borne on the shoulders of three mighty statues, the resounding beat of a great heart could be heard emanating from the clouds, thundering like the knell of an unseen church bell, raised higher than any other, enchanting us all to lift our gaze aloft in an ascetic call to prayer. For the miracle was about to give birth to a child.
Alright, that was quite the intro. I do want to say here real quick, I am not an aficionado of the lore here, so I do know the gist of the lore of the first game. I do know who some people are, like I knew who this guy holding the coffin was, I know who we play as. But I don't know every little facet of the lore, so I won't really be going into that too much. There's plenty of other channels that do that way better than me. This is just going to be my first impressions and gameplay of the first hour or so of my playthrough. I don't want to say the game because mileage will vary depending on player skill and whatnot. Anyways, we're going to get started here. I have seen gameplay, the demo of it that from like IGN or whatever. So I know up to about the first kind of boss. And I'm just going to go ahead, and I've already decided I want to use this weapon because I did like using the sword in the first game, and I like the fact that it has combos. Something about me when it comes to these type of games is I like fluidity and animation, and the thing I've noticed with the other two weapons from what I've seen is obviously they all have their strengths and weaknesses. I'm not talking about that. I'm more of a function over form when it comes to a lot of things. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but just shut up, it's me. Mainly just the fact that this only has one attack, and yes, I know you can upgrade these and they might get better later. Same thing with this one, is it's just one attack, whereas the sword has a 3-hit combo, which I know can be upgraded. And like I said, I know these two can be upgraded to have more varied attacks or whatever. I get that, but for the sake of my first run through, I'm just going to use this sword to start out with. And alright, let's get started. You should know in these type of games, always go left first, just in case. Make sure there wasn't anything different. And there might have been, I just still didn't see it because I'm slow. My apologies for pausing the game. I had a phone call to make. So far, first boss, not too bad. Something I am noticing is just controller-wise, I've been playing the first one, and obviously when the first one came out, the PS5 wasn't a thing yet. So I like the haptic feedback on a lot of the controls. It has a nice feel in the hand when you're sliding or swinging the sword or whatever weapon you're using. I have been told by people that this game is not as difficult as the first one, which we'll see. I haven't gotten through a lot of the first one yet, but I did play a little bit, and so far it's not as hard as I was imagining it to be. But as again, I'm also near like the beginning of the game, so we'll see. But anyways, yeah, not a bad first boss, and let's keep going.
Penitent one, returned from the tomb, and walking among the mourners, your awakening is now written on the eternal pages. Annunciada is my name, and I hail from the heavenly mountains on high, the seat and the beginning of all that is holy, so that I may address you. Look upon me thus as a preceptor in this enterprise, hailing from the highest of all seats. Penitent one, the miracle shall give birth to a new child in a great heart descended from the clouds that watches over the ancient city of the blessed name from on high. You must reach it to stop its birth. But on this ascending path of penitence, the arch-confraternity awaits you. Those penitents that the miracle itself took as its sentinels now await your arrival. Orospina, the confraternity of embroiderers. Benedicta, of the confraternity of endless orison. Odon, of the confraternity of salt. Lesmes, of the confraternity of incorruptible flesh, all under the dictate of the oldest penitent, the first among them all, who was Eviterno, father of the penitents. Penitent one, the miracle has instilled 3 regrets in the consciences of 3 of its guardians. Only by revealing them shall you achieve the humiliation of the sculpted figures that hold up the city, allowing you to ascend to its upper reaches, and finally to the great heart. Look for the guardians. Only by revealing the regrets.
Another thing I want to say is I know some people were complaining about how the art style is for the cutscenes. It's much more animated than in the first game. The first game was a lot more like horror pixel art style. And while I can agree with that to an extent, there was a certain charm or allure for how the first game's cutscenes were handled. I still believe this is an all-around upgrade for one. It is just easier to look at. And yeah, it just kind of take away, I guess, maybe a bit from that type of feel from the first game. But also, from what I've been seeing, this really shouldn't be compared in that way to the first game. This is a much more vibrant type of game. Like, yeah, there's still a lot of gross shit that's going to happen, but it seems like it's going to be different. But anyways, you guys saw, looks like we're going to be hunting down different types of penitent ones, like myself. At least that's what I'm gathering so far. I could be wrong. But we'll see. Anyways, let's keep going. forgot to mention, but if you want to wear each of the weapons that you see in the beginning will be something you can acquire throughout the game, and they do act as Metroidvania style progression powers in a sense. They unlock different pathways and whatnot.
A few moments later,
welcome to my most humble of workshops, which is a flurry of sawdust, glue, and varnish. Montagnez is my name. Master sculptor. One of those who, with steady hand and silver chisel, patiently carve out from the wood the faithful shapes of our true saints, so that they might be contemplated and revered by the devout. No trace of light remains in my glassy eyes. Yet still I know what thou seekest and needest. For are we not all penitents on this earth, in some way? The miracle proclaimed that, as my profession was that of a master sculptor, I should carve in wood the figure of the Most Blessed Lady as my last work of art. Penitent one, I beg you, help me in this, my final piece of work. Seek out for me the finest chisels and tools, the most wondrous of pigments, and the most delicate, and I can sculpt for thee figures that will fit into the altarpiece you carry on your back. Like this very one I offer to thee here. Please accept this as a gesture of my... It is but the first piece of many more I shall carve for you. Now I shall place it upon the altarpiece upon your back, and you will feel its grace, but also its burden. The hands of the miracle will guide me in the carving in accordance with the memory you bring me. May they guide thee as they guide me, penitent one.
So for anyone who didn't really understand anything he just said, this is essentially just a place where after you unlock certain items and moments in the story, I'm guessing you come back here and you basically add modifiers to your character to give different benefits, which will probably come with some type of bad thing as well, I'm gonna assume. Nope.
This heavy curtain that separates sin and confession, crime and judgment, conceals naught but shadows. Here, in my darkness, there remaineth but tears for me, and forgiveness for those of you who seeketh it. Where are the bereaved now? Where are the repentant? How long since the long agony of this sacrament began? Now that your penance of silence and the pain that plagues your flesh has led you to my dark confession, let me purge the guilt you bear, and thus alleviate your burden. Penitent one, return when the guilt scorches your brow. I will free you from your burden, for that is my purpose.
Alright, from what I gather from him, not really from what he said, but from what other people have told me, every time you die, there's some type of debuff you get, and you can go to him to remove that debuff. I'm also assuming how this game works, that there might be a different thing that goes on when you have that debuff, considering this game is a lot about penitence and religion and stuff like that.
Sleep, my child, sleep.
Who are you, whose face and name you keep hidden? No. Your name is of no consequence, if your footsteps have led you to me. Yerma is mine own. But this is not the right moment, for the steps that my promise inspires are swift, and the will that directs them unshakable. This hatred, which blinds my reason with shadows. I must leave at once.
I have no idea what she was talking about, but hey, new stuff. Pro tip, don't do that.
Pray. This mallet is so wonderfully balanced in the hand that it feels quite effortless to move. Know that you have my gratitude, penitent one. The altarpiece on your back. Here, I will wait for you until you... May the hands of the miracle guide.
Open up the skin and red flesh. Uncover the lie that my shell conceals, for I am only blood and bones. So allow the chalices to be filled with those who toast kings and priests. Now I shall grant thee a new flask. Bring me more vials.
Alright, if you were not aware, this is how you get more healing potions. I'm assuming you have to do that first. I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going.
blessed are we, for I behold a penitent. Humbly allow us to present ourselves to your reverence. We are Medardo and Escolastico, pilgrim merchants and scribes by trade. You never know where precious assets may be. What, pray, can be unjust or malevolent in walking the roads in pursuit of a twofold profit? That of the pocket by selling, and that of the spirit by prayer. While Medardo pays penance in his meditative meanderings, I take care of the business side of things, sparing not a drop of ink to write about the beautiful landscapes of the many varied paths we travel. But go ahead and cast your eyes upon our shop window. The objects that were lost on voyages have great appeal and fascination, as they have become a reminder of the feat itself. Cast your eyes upon our shop window. Is there nothing? What a pity.
So this is what happens when you die. You lose your... Well, I won't say you lose your ability to gain magic, but it reduces the amount you can have, and it looks like it decreases your defense, but you can get more stuff. Collect guilt fragments to partially recover, or find someone who can ease your guilt, which is probably that guy that was in the confessional. Well, alright guys, it's been roughly an hour of me playing, and I still gotta edit and everything, so I'm gonna call it here, guys. If you're looking forward to a part 2, or if you want like boss guides or anything for this game, let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching, and see ya.